Why do they have so many paper notes? Do they get that many orders? The odds are incredibly in Stone's favor. I guess that he's the reigning champion, and Bobby Yale is just a contender, but maybe word got out about his condition. There's one on each table, except this one. Huh. Looks like those colorful notes weren't restaurant orders after all. Does O'Leary have a network of pals? Huh. That lizard isn't Yale's doctor. Wow. I didn't realize you could place so many bets on a single baseball game. It looks like a summary of all the bets that come in. Day, amount, bet, wagerer. Wait a minute. Did O'Leary himself bet $5,000 on Yale? A little thingamajig that adds on its own. What'll they think of next? Sometimes I forget that criminals, even the office variety, have family and kids. Anyway, maybe things aren't so bad on the dark side. 16 days until the fight. Luckily or not, files in through R included no one that I could somehow connect to the case. Dunn's integrity was legendary, even in O'Leary's shady reports, just like Yale had said. Dunn had kicked one of O'Leary's men out of the gym when he found him snooping around. The report on Yale's father was the shortest of all, since only his name was left. Why? Cassidy's report was possibly the longest among all of O'Leary's files. Apparently, their rivalry went way back. So much so that they spied on each other in the most unthinkable ways. At least I was able to confirm what Yale had told me. Cassidy had threatened Dunn after he refused to join the managers' union. A Crossler? The good news is, I don't need lockpicks to open it. The bad news, I didn't bring explosives. Even Dunn had a gun in his office. O'Leary couldn't possibly be the exception. Dunn had $200 in his safe. O'Leary had about 20,000 in a drawer. Limited edition copy 2 of 3. We listen, if you call it listening, to the sentimental romance. Your eyes act like the moon. If they're not together anymore, why does O'Leary keep so many pictures of romantic moments with Helen Moore? The painting concealed file after file of celebrity reports with all sorts of shady information, ranging from S to Z. Almost all of them were athletes. Is that what O'Leary meant when he said that detectives and police officers were his friends? I wonder how many spy for him. If I were to pitch in, who would I spy on? Thorpe had been a rising football star before the war, which he came back from with honors and decorations. After the truce, he resumed his career. He won 3 season trophies and a couple of MVP awards. He retired after an accident that left him paralyzed from the waist down. He started his own sports advertising agency 4 years ago, but according to the files, O'Leary hadn't even tried to corrupt him. According to Stone's report, he was so clean, not to mention hard to corrupt, that O'Leary opted for a more subtle strategy. Apparently, when he broke up with the tennis player Helen Moore, he set her up with Stone. Lucky for him, they hit it off. As I put away the report, I stopped in my tracks. Did I really want to risk knowing what O'Leary had on my good friend, the incorruptible police commissioner? I sighed in relief. O'Leary had tried to buy Smirnoff on several occasions, but failed. Luckily, O'Leary had nothing on him, or me. In Bobby Yale's folder, all I found was a log of his incredible stats as an aspiring champion. 20 victories, 16 by knockout. Although, at the end of the report, someone had underlined one word several times: untouchable. Strange as it may seem, the reports revealed that O'Leary had hired Jake as a bodyguard precisely because he was absolutely clean. Apparently, he liked to surround himself with honest people when he mingled with the high society. Helen Moore's file was, by far, one of the juiciest. She had been just a run-of-the-mill tennis player until O'Leary launched her career by rigging enough games to help her climb the ranking. However, O'Leary hadn't fixed any of her games in over a year. In spite of that, she remained undefeated. Be as it may, it was clear that O'Leary had enough information to ruin her career. I'd say O'Leary has threatened Stone with ruining Moore's career. Jake. Someone was coming.
Are we or are we not exemplary workers, Jimmy? Here it is, middle of the night. And we're working extra hours. Hey, Jimmy, what do you think about that?
I think he's scared stiff, Desmond.
Why's that, Jimmy? We're giving you the red carpet treatment. We even let you in the boss's office.
You're one lucky fellow.
You can't say I don't treat you well, Jimmy.
Yeah,
Speak, you moron.
very well. Why are you...
Shh. Calm down. How long have you worked for me, Jimmy?
3 months. 3 months.
Oh, yeah. I hired you right after your cousin Martin died. I need your opinion. How would you punish someone for ruining an innocent man's life with a hit and run, Jimmy?
I don't know.
And tell me, what about you, Wilson? What would you do?
No, please. I didn't do anything. I swear.
He was a good guy. Of course, you already knew that. You knew him better than me, right?
He was my cousin.
That's why I hired you, Jimmy. You see, Martin was a dear friend. And his widow said you were a nice kid. That you do a good job and you needed the money. And I have a soft spot for those in need.
Please.
But, you know what? I talked to her just yesterday. She told us you did some naughty things to her with that gun, Jimmy.
No.
That's no way to treat a widow, is it?
She's lying. Why would I do that?
What about the kid? Are you so sure you know how long a kid can hold his breath? With his little head inside a toilet bowl?
Son of a bitch.
I didn't want to. It was his idea.
Selfishly, I was glad I hadn't risked my life to save Jimmy. Maybe not even someone like him deserves to die. But one could also argue that I didn't deserve to die for someone like him.
Who's your boss? Give me a name!
Cassidy. It was his idea. He said you'd hired me if I'd managed to scare the widow, and I just...
All right. Let's just calm down now. Okay? It's gonna be okay. There are two sacred principles that rule my life. The first principle is the love for my family. I do anything to protect them. The second principle, I never put my future in the hands of fate. I always play it nice and safe. And I would even add a third principle, or better yet, a rule. If anything threatens either of these two crucial principles, I take matters into my own hands. You see where this is going? For the first time, I got someone killed. Even though all I really did was rat him out.
No, I just...
Stop interrupting me, Jimmy! It's not polite! You're all the same. So rude. You know what? Let's leave it at that. You're going to give a message to that disgusting walrus Cassidy, aren't you?
Yeah, sure. Whatever you say. Yeah, sure.
Good boy.
What? What's the message?
Oh, Jimmy. You still don't get it, do you? You are the message. Come on. Wrap him up. Make sure Cassidy gets the message for breakfast, will you? I hope he chugs on it.
Got it.
Where are you hiding, little fishy? Once again, you didn't get to hear the end of my story.
What? Just where do you think you're going, putty cat?
Two sacred principles rule my life. The first is the love I feel for my family. The second, never leave destiny in the hands of fate. I always play it nice and safe. And I'd even add a third principle, or better yet, a rule. If anything threatens either of these two principles, I take matters into my own hands. The first time that someone died because of me, even though all I did was rat him out, well, that guy ended up in the Hudson River, right off Pier 27. He's got to be even wetter than that fish by now. You should have seen his face.
It's interesting what comes to mind when you think you're about to die. Suddenly all I could think about was how much I wanted a pet fish.
You too, Bruce? Anyway, I was 14 years old, and I still dream about her, about his widow and his son.
By then, I was adamant about buying a fish. But first...
That was that. Never again. Nowadays, whether it's me who pulls the trigger or not, I have zero regrets. What's more, I sort of enjoy it.
The guy never hesitates to pull the trigger. Even if I hadn't seen what he did to Jimmy, I'd know he's not bluffing. His pupils are dilated, and there's a slight grin on his face. The bastard is enjoying himself. When a mob boss declares his love of family, it can only mean that A, he won't hesitate to ruin yours, and B, he's cheating on his wife. In case anyone had any doubts about who's the boss around here, I'll put my dirty feet on his luxurious table to prove that all of this is mine. I knew I had it in me to get out of that place alive. No. O'Leary's wife is having an affair with Colbert? Should I serve this to O'Leary on a silver platter? Or threaten Colbert so he'll get me out of this mess?
And, well, that's it, I think. You know, Blacksad, I've never made it this far. Congratulations, you're going in style.
I didn't want to interrupt you because I respect you and your word, but I'm actually here to help. Your wife is having an affair with Colbert.
What? Me? No way. Well, here's the thing. I don't respect your word. And since you brought me no proof...
Check my coat pocket on the right.
Oh, Blacksad, Blacksad, Blacksad. Oops. Thank you very much. And sorry for jumping to conclusions. First, you get a random beating from my men. And here we are. When you shared what you'd found in Yale's apartment, well, it made me sort of want to trust you. But as you well know, you can't trust anyone in this world. Take it. It's only fair.
I want to bet it all on the fight, on Sonia Dunn's behalf.
Oh, what a romantic you are. We listen, if you call it listening, to the sentimental romance.
I guess, if you say so.
Same difference. Anyway, go ahead. Place your bet.
I bet it all on Yale.
Oh, Blacksad. Aren't these odd hours to pay me a visit? Your message was important, but certainly not urgent. It could have waited until tomorrow, don't you think?
We cats and wolves hunt at night. I wish I was a noir fiction writer. At this very moment, I could write a couple of pointed, ironic remarks for the narrator to recount what I just lived through. The dark, crooked alleys of New York reminded me of the state of my own soul. No. Fall loomed over me with the... Fall struck me with the full force of my long-lost youth. Nah, not that. Fall descended over me with the full weight of a guilty conscience. God, that's worse.
What were you thinking? He wants him alive!
I felt fall seep through my bones like the pain of a good beating. Mediocre, but appropriate. Against all odds, next morning I got up bright-eyed and bushy-tailed. And I had my kind, unknown assailants to thank. The beating had taken its toll, but for the first time in months, I had slept like a baby.
Oh, come on, Helen, focus! All right, take 5. We'll work on that double backhand later.
Well, Mr. Blackmore, what can I do for the FBI?
Actually, the real question is, what don't you want the FBI to do to you?
Quick to thread, are we? Not that I'm not flattered, mind you, but I'd appreciate if you were a bit less vague.
Maybe if we could speak in private?
Alec!
Coming!
You've got 4 minutes, Mr. Blackmore, so... make them count.
They say you're currently involved with Al Stone, the boxer. Is that correct?
Wow. The FBI sure knows what it's doing. So, out of the 100 million Americans who know about that, who did you extort to get such highly confidential information?
Don't beat around the bush. We know why you're with him.
Oh, so you like his biceps too?
Desmond O'Leary asked you to seduce Stone. Why?
What? No, I met Al by chance at a party. A party hosted by Desmond O'Leary. No, that can't be. No one is that shrewd. Not even him. Damn, I hate that bastard.
We know about you and Desmond O'Leary.
Wow, your sagacity never ceases to amaze me. Wait, I get it. They must wrap your FBI sandwiches in gossip magazines.
The thing is, well...
You see, I'd love to wipe out that part of my past, but whatever.
Do you have any regrets?
Ads pay more than trophies. Can you believe it? Being associated with such a shady character could only damage my reputation. Trust me, never get involved with a married man.
We're aware of at least 6 rigged games during your first year as a professional player.
And?
You won all of them.
Are you trying to offend me? I give my all on the court. I can't be held accountable if my rivals don't do the same. Go interrogate them. In any case, now I know why you mentioned O'Leary. What do you really have against him? And don't say illegal gambling.
We've got reason to believe he's working with the Chicago mob. This isn't just illegal gambling anymore. It's organized crime. I'm serious, Miss Moore. America can't afford to let anyone shake its foundations like that. And America's sweetheart can't afford it either. Help us out. Talk to us.
And why should I, Mr. Blackmore? What do I stand to gain or lose?
The FBI always returns a favor.
Oh yeah? Are they gonna rig my games? This is actually quite simple.
One lucky gal.
You have a light, sir?
The pearly white teeth of someone who barely smokes. Am I making her nervous? Damn. I'm almost out of fluid.
Wanna know my trick? Go down to start, then up with it, and then down again. Thanks. I don't know what you want me to say. You're trying to frame O'Leary, perhaps rightfully so, but I think you're barking up the wrong tree. Believe me, if I had the slightest...
Come on, Helen. Time to work on your backhand. Let's go.
Do you smoke? Nice meeting you, Mr. Blackmore. Did you bring my water?
America's sweetheart gave you her cigarette? Dear God, she has the hots for you! I can't believe you said good old Weekly to investigate that stupid walrus while you were hanging out with Helen Moore herself! So, what do you say, you and me, we change places next time, huh?
Your turn. Now tell me, what did you find out?
Ah, you're gonna love this. You ready? I've got news, but I happen to also have a
Blacksad,
He's off with that whore, isn't he?
what? Who is... Oh, Mrs. Colbert.
I told him I knew all about it, after our chat. He cried and asked me to forgive him. He said he was gonna leave her, that he loved me, and it was over. But last night he got a phone call. He said he had to work, and he still hasn't come back. Nobody's seen him at work since yesterday evening. He left with her, didn't he? Tell me the truth. I can handle it.
Well, it's too soon to worry. I'm sure he'll be back.
You think so?
Maybe he just needs some time. Be patient. He'll come back.
When he does, I'm gonna scratch his eyes out. I'm gonna tear that stupid head right off.
But what just happened? Is there anything you didn't tell me?
Maybe. But now it's your turn. Tell me about Cassidy. Come on, spit it out.
I didn't find anything suggesting that Cassidy had anything to do with Dunn's murder, but
That's quite the tale.
I know Cassidy will be playing poker tonight with one Howard M. Farnham II, a Texas tycoon looking to get his claws on the boxing business. I also know that he and Cassidy have never met in person, and that Farnham, who's staying at the Balford Hotel, hasn't left his room. Apparently, he spent the night with 3 bottles of bourbon. So, here's my incredible plan. I'll go to the hotel, I'd knock him out, and then take his place in the poker game. That way, I'll get Cassidy talking. What do you think? Incredible, right?
Didn't we agree that you would handle Helen more while I dealt with Cassidy next time? No? Good afternoon, Mr. Farnham.
What's going on?
Allow me to introduce myself. John Blackmore. I work for Frank Cassidy. He asked me to bring you these bottles so you could choose which one you prefer for the game.
Oh, sure. I was fixing to leave, but I guess them monuments ain't going anywhere. Well, come on in then.
Getting in Farnham's room was easy. Earning his trust was another story. But I always have an ace up my sleeve.
Blackmore? You okay, partner?
The best way to earn someone's trust is to make them believe they've earned yours. And sometimes, the best way to fake it is to tell the truth. I don't know where to begin. They killed my girlfriend. And no matter how hard I try, I just can't let go.
Those bastards paid for what they done to you, boy.
They paid.
Well, good. Honor's being restored, and sure enough, our good Lord will see to it that they burn in hell. You need to move on, partner. Plenty of lookers out there. Find yourself a charming lady friend, even if it costs you a pretty penny.
One of the tricks of this trade is to be wary of the biases we all have. They cloud our judgment and blur the person in front of us, painting them with the shades of our preconceived notions of who they should be. But every once in a while, you run into someone so locked in personality that they can only be regarded as a stereotype. Farnham was a disgrace, not only to himself, but to Texas and the entire human race. To think I had to impersonate him. I wish I was like you. You seem so content, so free of burdens.
Stop right there, partner. You think this old dog don't have ticks? Let me tell you something about my first wife. Woo-wee!
Once I had gained Farnham's trust, the hard part was deciding what I needed to know to become him and not get myself killed.
What can I do for you, sir?
Howdy. My name's Howard M. Farnham II.
Okay. Should I know you? What can I do for you, sir?
Farnham was one hell of a drinker. I had to get the information out of him before he drank himself unconscious. Otherwise, I'd have to find that information myself. Ding Dong? Interesting name for a town.
Yes, I got a Vietnamese saved last night.
No. Please, come in. Of course. I remember you. Take a seat. I'm sure you'll understand we can't be too careful. Our host has many enemies, and someone has to keep them at bay.
Sure, I get it.
I'm glad to hear that. Now, please answer my question. How much does it cost to get yourself a clean Vietnamese shave?
Damn, sure enough, booze put the nail on the coffin of my first marriage. You know, the wife that caught me cheating with the maid. My second marriage, too. You know what I did to her daddy? Same old with several mistresses. So I decided to stick to my guns and only deal with hookers. Even if I did end up marrying some.
I feel you, Mr. Farnham. So I'm going to be honest with you. I'm Cassidy's slave. He lent me the money for a game deposit, and I lost it all. Now I have to work off my debt.
Oh, Cassidy's not your problem, son. It's poverty. Sure enough, I had to pay my own deposit this morning to y'all, and that was just petty cash to me.
Petty cash, to be honest.
I asked you how much.
Of course, they gave me my receipts. These things I am, boy. Wait, I'll show you. I gotta get somewhere. Just a sec. I'll get it. I just put it over. I think I'll be right back.
Why didn't you just say you had the receipt in your pocket? I'm almost certain, but tell me, who told you to come to this barber shop?
Let me tell you a little secret about my first wife, sonny boy. When I met that woman, she had no manners, no money, no nothing. Who in the hell? Farnham. By God, if it ain't the hero of the day.
It's not going to be easy to sound Texan, but I'll give it my best shot. I probably don't need to imitate his gestures during the game, but it certainly wouldn't hurt to try. Nothing says Texan like a cowboy hat.
Sure enough, I'm fixing.
Knowing Farnham, the owner of this bra only came here for business.
Anyway, Kenny, thanks for fixing the game with Cassidy. God bless you, brother. The craziest goddamn Texan in New York.
My good old friend Kenny. Craziest goddamn Texan in New York.
You know how many Kennys there are in New York? Kenny who?
So besides when and where the game will be, the password, and the money Farnham dished out, what else do I need? Luckily, there was only one Kenny in Farnham's address book, Kenny Eakes, residing at...
Cornell Plaza, Manhattan. Stunning penthouse.
I'm not surprised. Mr. Eakes has excellent taste. Do you happen to know what he asked for the last time he was here?
Not even a Bible.
Don't tell me, Billy Bob. This here is my new friend Farnham. Am I right?
Sure enough, your barber was fixing to give me a shave.
You can get a good shave at another time. Billy Bob is always at our beck and call.
Of course.
Hey, come on. Let's get in there before they finish all the bourbon without us.
I haven't frisked him yet, sir.
I don't think that'll be necessary. Mr. Farnham here, he's an honest Texan. And I'm sure he'll hand over his weapon if we ask him to. Right?
No matter how superficial someone may seem, there's always a way to win their heart.
It'll be my pleasure.